Hello viewers, so I am back with my new video on U.A.E for grade 7 British in India. I hope you are taking very good care of yourself. So let's get started with the lesson. Objectives. The role of the British in establishing its rule in India. To review the partition of India, the U.A.E link. U.A.E was a trucial state from 21st March 1952 to 1st December 1971. So what exactly is a trucial state? The protective treaty was signed between the leaders of U.A.E and the United Kingdom. The CC link, it deals with history. Why? Because the topic deals with the past settlement of the British on the Indian soil. We have a brain teaser question from the textbook. You can go through the answer. British in India 1757 to 1947. In 1600, English East India Company received a royal charter to take control of Great Britain's merchant trade and activity in the Indian Ocean and Asian regions. In 1650s, the English East India Company operated in the area of Bay of Bengal, where it established a port city of Calcutta on India's east coast. Over the next century, the East India Company grew as it took over the trade. The Mughal Empire were allowed to continue trading in Bengal through agreements with the British until the 1680s, when Mughal shipping and merchant traders competed with British fleets. They started being attacked. So the friction grew when they became the rivals of each other in trading activities. Let us see the rivalry between the French and the British. Other European countries established trading ports on both the east coast and west coast of India by 1740. Mughal rulers granted concessions to allow them to gain control of the port cities. So you can understand by this that during the time of the 18th century, the Mughal rulers were the ones who were ruling most parts of India. And they were the ones who gave permission to the Britishers that they can have control over the port cities. Now the rivalry grew between the French and the British traders, and that created divisions among the Indian rulers. Some were in favor of the French, while others were in favor of the British traders. Now the French and the Britishers, they fought 3 wars in India just to make a place for themselves. The first war and the third war, which was called as the Anglo-French Wars, were fought, and in those wars the British won. Only the second war between the French and the British, the French won. So the third Anglo-French War was a decisive war that gave a complete elimination of the French in certain pockets of India only, that is Chandranagar, Mahe and Karaikal. Rest all the places, slowly and steadily the British established its rule. The British were forced to leave Calcutta in 1756. In response, the British Navy recaptured Calcutta and occupied it in 1757, beginning the formal occupation and control of India. So slowly and steadily, these people who came as merchants felt that if there is political domination of the Britishers, then only they can smoothly carry out their trading activities. And if there is lot of friction, then it is not possible. So they started with political occupation in the region of Calcutta, and then slowly they spread to other parts of the country. Of the British. From Calcutta, the British forced their way not to take control over Bengal at the northern tip of Bay of Bengal. By 1856, the British had gained control of territories from the Punjab and across the north and most of the coastal regions of India. You can see in the map wherein you have the light brown portion, which is the direct British ruled regions, whereas the pink portion are the Indian rulers, Indian Maharajas and the princes who were ruling those regions. In 1857, the British created a permanent colonial administration based from their capital at Calcutta. Thousands of British soldiers and colonial administrators made their careers by service in India. In fact, they were getting fat salaries from the Indian treasury. The Indian treasury, which should be used for the good of the Indians, was used for the Britishers. They were maintaining the army on the expense of the Indians, getting fat salaries from here, and they were channelizing the money to their home country, and they were getting richer and richer day by day. And this country, which was said to be a land flowing with milk and honey, all that was sadly, slowly, and gradually diverted to Britain. Because the Rajput princes supported the British in 1857, they were allowed to have control over their local areas for nearly a century. This period is known as the British Raj. 1857 was an uprising which literally shook the Britishers to the core. And this uprising had taken mostly in the parts of North India. South India was indifferent to it, but it literally shook them to the core. Freedom movement from 1880 to 1930, many Indians wanted to have the British out of their country. Mahatma Gandhi was an Indian lawyer who led people to think about fairness in society. He raised awareness of the situation of very poor people in India. He and others helped to put pressure that eventually pushed the British out of India. Mahatma Gandhi started the Indian national movement in full swing after the death of Lokmanya Tilak in 1920. So from 1920 you have the Gandhian period. Till 1947, he was the person who led the Indian national movement. In 1947, the independent states of India and Pakistan were formed. We have a brain teaser question from the textbook. You can go through activity 2 again from your textbook. Please go through of India in 1947. Please make a note. The name of the person who was the last Viceroy of India was Lord Mountbatten. I have put up his picture over here for you to just see him. And you can see in the map the orange portion. The orange portion was the Free India portion, whereas the grey portions, which you can see three at three places, Goa, Hyderabad, and Kashmir, they were the disputed regions. Slowly and steadily, Goa and Hyderabad merged with India, but Kashmir still remains a disputed region. Half the region of Kashmir is in India, the other half is in Pakistan. The green portion, which you can see at two places, was called as West Pakistan and East Pakistan. East Pakistan got liberated from West Pakistan with the help of India in 1971, which is now called as Bangladesh. Modern India and Pakistan are two countries created in 1947 when British India was partitioned into two countries. The partition of India was ordered and planned by the last Viceroy, Lord Mountbatten. Earl Mountbatten was the wife of Lord Mountbatten. Please make a note in your textbook also. The borders of the two new countries created a problem for both the new countries because people with the same values, beliefs, and culture were separated from each other. At the same time, people who had different values, beliefs, and culture were grouped together. The partition caused an immediate crisis as many families were divided and the minority populations felt pressured to move to the country where their culture was a majority. About 14 million people were relocated across the borders. Both India and Pakistan were established in 1947. In 1971, East Pakistan became Bangladesh. The prime ministers of the Indian subcontinent, you can have a look at their pictures also. The first prime minister of India was Jawaharlal Nehru. who served from 1947 until his death in 1964. Indira Gandhi was India's first women prime minister who served from 1966 to 1977. And then there was a gap, a period in which she couldn't rule, and then she comes back in 1980 till 1984, that is until her death. She was the daughter of Jawaharlal Nehru. Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah served as Pakistan's first Governor General. Previously called Ceylon, Sri Lanka became an independent state in 1972. Chandrika Kumaratunga, the first woman head of the state, served as Sri Lanka's president from 1994 to 2005. Activity 3 from the textbook. Please go through the answer. Activity 4, very simple. You can go through. Please see activity 5 also. Here we come to the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you have liked my video, as always, a request to please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share it with your friends and relatives and acquaintances. Press the bell icon for the notification of my latest videos. See you next time with my new video. Till then, take care. Keep watching Learn SST. Bye bye.